Thank you, Mr. President, graduates, family members. It is an honor to stand here at my alma mater and give the commencement address. I can tell you 19 years ago when I was sitting out there where you are, I never imagined a series of circumstances that would have led me to be here this day, and it is my honor to help you celebrate this tremendous achievement. On this day of celebrations, in this hall that has seen countless victories and defeats, we gather here to honor the most important victory many of you have ever achieved. We gather to honor years of commitment, dedication, and achievement. It is a time for congratulations. First, congratulations go to the families of these graduates. Whether you are a mother or a father, a brother or a sister, a wife or a husband of a graduate, you helped your graduate arrive here today. You supported them through difficult times in their studies and difficult times in their lives. For that commitment, you have the admiration and respect of everyone in this hall today. The university family of Southeastern also deserves congratulations. This university is not some collection of buildings or desks or chairs or even computers. Southeastern Oklahoma State University is people. From support staff to professors to the administration, the Southeastern family has dedicated itself to preserving what is best of the past while preparing each of you graduates for the future. Today, you graduates all join a family that is much larger than you can possibly imagine. The family of Southeastern graduates is truly everywhere. We are fiercely proud of the blue and gold. And in every field of human endeavor, you will find a graduate of this great institution. On behalf of all of us who came before, all of us who have walked these halls, sat in these buildings, all of us who are bound by the shared experience of going to Southeastern, let me say welcome, and we are honored to count you among us. Our deepest and most enthusiastic congratulations are, of course, reserved for you graduates. Mere words hardly do honors to the achievement we celebrate here today. It took hard work for each of you to get here. Every one of you has persevered, struggled, achieved, and ultimately excelled. You have overcome challenges most of us will never know to arrive here, and you have not reached this ceremony today by accident. This ceremony marks the end of one journey and the beginning of another. And I know many of you have sat through classes that you didn't enjoy, wondering if this day would ever arrive. Your family, your friends, your professors, maybe even a few administrators assured you that yes, you would get here. And despite all of your doubts, you have arrived. And by doing so, you will have new privileges as well as new responsibilities. You are the men and women who will lead Oklahoma in this new century, in this new millennium. And inside the chest of each and every one of you dwells the spirit of this great state. It is a spirit whose origins can be traced to the first Native Americans who called Oklahoma home. It is a spirit that continues through the brave pioneers who took part in the land runs of the 1800s. It is a spirit that grew with the creation of the state of Oklahoma in 1907. We are a young state, but we are an ambitious state. As Oklahomans, that spirit assures that no matter what difficulties are placed in your way, you will overcome. That spirit is Oklahoma's legacy to each and every one of you. It is a proud legacy, and it will mean more to you with each passing year of your lives. But you have something more, something special that others never will have, especially graduates of East Central. In your life's journey, when people ask you where you went to college, you can answer with pride, I went to Southeastern. This state, this university has given you much. In the book of Luke, we read, from everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked. With this ceremony, we have entrusted to you the most precious thing any of us can have, and that is our future. It is up to you to make the best use of the training you've received here, to go on to be the best that you can be. Every one of you must be successful in your lives. And I want you to notice I didn't say successful in your careers. To be a success in a career in this world, in this day, is simply not enough. We need outstanding people more than we need people with outstanding careers. During my time in public service, I've learned that narrow self-interest simply does not work in today's world. New technologies are shrinking the distance between us all. A tornado hits Oklahoma City, and people all over the nation find out in a matter of seconds. Now, news that as little as 20 years ago took hours or even days to reach us is instantly broadcast over multiple news networks or across the internet. We are becoming more like the rural communities of 100 years ago. In those days, everyone in the community cared for everyone else. They knew when people were happy and healthy or sad and sick. And everyone knew when tragedy struck a family. They faced the future with the knowledge that we are all in this together. Our state and our nation have faced more than our share of tragedies. What we have endured was painful, but it brought us together like never before and taught us an important lesson. In the wake of those tragedies, and we saw expressions of sympathy, generous donations, and the renewal of an old lesson we all know in our heart of hearts. We are all in this together. As members of the first generation of this new millennium, your charge, your calling, is to make this world a better place for your contemporaries and for your children. You must fight ignorance with the knowledge you have earned. Where there is darkness, you must bring light. Where there is anger, you must build understanding. Where there are cracks that divide people, you must build bridges to bring them together. Freedom rests on the shoulders, in the hands, and in the hearts of men and women like you. The forces of darkness are indeed all around us. But darkness cannot withstand the light from your lives, the light from the torch that you will raise high when you receive your diplomas. The values you take from this ceremony remind us that faith is stronger than fear, and hope is more powerful than hate. Of all the generations in human history, you have the greatest potential and the greatest preparation ever. As President Kennedy said in his inaugural address, the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans, the first generation that will live most of its life in a new millennium. You must hold that torch higher and carry it farther than any generation in human history. In some respects, you're in the same position as the members of the Connecticut House of Representatives during a day back in colonial times. On this day, the House was in session, and a dark cloud began to build in the west, eventually growing to block out the sun and dropping torrential rain on the frightened colonists. And that day, no one had ever seen a storm like this before. And many of the representatives began to fear that the end was coming and began to clamor for adjournment so they could go home and spend the end of days with their family. The Speaker of the House, a gentleman by the name of Colonel Davenport, rose and silenced the members with these words. The end is either coming or it is not. If it is not, there is no reason to adjourn. And if it is, I prefer to be found doing my duty. I move, therefore, that candles be brought in to enlighten this hall of democracy. Just like those legislators centuries ago, you face a future with storm clouds on the horizon, and you have the same choice they did. You can run from a darkness you can never escape, or you can banish the darkness with the light from your lives. It is my most sincere belief that each of you will lift your candles, lighting the way for generations yet unborn and building a future that is better for all our children. We, your family, your friends, your professors, and your fellow graduates of Southeastern Oklahoma State University commend you to the future. May God